Hey there, I'm Mr. Terry. I'm a high school history teacher. Welcome back to another History Teacher Reacts video. All right, in honor of MatPat pulling the plug and retiring on us, I'm going to be checking out a game theory video that I have not seen before and was just recommended to me. And it crosses into the stuff that we cover here because this is called Mario is a Communist? You know, I'm ready to check out this vid. I don't want to see what they really think a communist is. And could Mario actually be one? All right, the original video is down below. Make sure you're supporting Game Theory. Make sure you're supporting Matt. He's made a big impact on this internet sphere for many years. And let's check this out together. This reminds me of that time on my gaming channel where I streamed a Mario like ROM hack, and it was called Communist Mario. And it was funny. It had this whole like timeline of him trying to, I don't know, save the USSR or something. And the major thing in that game was you were not allowed to touch the coins. If you did, you died. And it was super challenging. Anyway, avoid the money. But Mario's all about them coins, you know? He's always about collecting and wealth. How could he be a communist?
Break out the borscht and pierogies, comrades. It's time to celebrate a true Soviet hero.
Oh, man. Do, 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 do. All right, comrade Mario. What is this? Oh man, Comrade Mario's.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Game Theory. Slightly funnier than
Game
Carlos
Theory.
Mencia.
Yeah, I've never seen
Slightly. Who knew that the Super Mario
Carlos
franchise
Mencia?
was
Man,
so
what happened to that
complex? In Game Theory's most watched episode, The Problems with Princess Peach, we dove into Toadstool's psychological
So this video is
issues,
10
the
years old
kidnapping
and
conspiracy
10 million
between her
views.
and Bowser, and the fact that Super Mario Bros. 3 may actually be a stage play. Then, coming up
My
in a
favorite
few
game of all
weeks, I
time, by
plan
the
on
way.
looking at what
Mario
the
3.
series can teach about
All
quantum
time.
mechanics.
Follow my gaming channel.
You know,
I
we didn't
love to
get
play it
enough
on
of
there.
that during the BioShock Infinite episode. But while all this may be shocking, it pales in comparison with today's
Mr. Bucket.
topic, that Mario is a communist
Snap.
sympathizer. Trust me, when loyal theorist Deadly Sin asked me to look into this at the SGC Gaming Convention, Skeptical Matt was skeptical, until I discovered that everything from Mario's design to the mushrooms he eats to Japan's political history points in the direction of our platforming plumber being a comrade from the motherland.
Oh, snap.
Is Mario Jumpman Mario more Russian
Referee
than
Mario
Dolph
from
Lundgren in
Punch-Out.
Rocky 4? We're done Stalin. Time to find out.
Yeah.
For those of you who didn't understand the epic rap battle season 2 finale,
Maybe my favorite epic rap battle, by the way. It was one of the early popular videos that I covered. Maybe my favorite. Anyway.
here's a quick 2-minute refresher for your Russian history. The period leading up to
Okay, this is where I come in, guys. This is where I gotta come in. If you don't know, if you're new to my channel, maybe you came in because you saw the Game Theory. Somehow Game Theory brought you to me. You know, I'm a history teacher, I have a degree in history, and been teaching for over 10 years. And I love to talk history behind video and add historical like context and stuff to popular videos. So let's see what we got.
World War I was a difficult time for Mother Russia. In order to finance the war, the government began
Russian Revolution.
printing millions and millions of ruble notes, and this caused massive inflation. The prices for food skyrocketed.
There are a lot of reasons why people were
quadrupling in the
upset.
span of 4 years, but workers saw no change in pay, meaning that no one could actually afford to feed themselves. It literally took wheelbarrows of money to pay.
That's German. One right there. Germans did the same thing after World War I, pumped all that money out, the Weimar Republic. Money was like better, is cheaper basically to use bundles of money for kids to have play with toys than actually like spend it because it was
one
worthless.
loaf of bread, poor sanitation, dangerous work conditions, hours of slave labor that afforded them nothing. You could see how people were angry. And
So it's, you know, they abolished serfdom technically in Russia. Russia was still very, very feudal, still had a large peasant class, but the revolution largely came from the cities, from the urban working class. And, you know, inspired by all that. Russia, very different setup than a lot of other countries, and was very lagging in a lot of modernized ways, and was being, you know, people being exploited right? And you actually see a successful communist
They
revolution
were
here.
angry at the king, or in Russia's case,
There's
the
Nicholas.
Tsar Nicholas II. On March 7th, 1917, the February Revolution. Wait, seriously? The February Revolution happened in March? Fail,
Well,
Russia,
yeah.
fail. Saw the people overthrow
So, it doesn't
Nicholas
matter.
and his
Don't worry
royal
about that part.
family. Enter communism, a movement to create a classless, moneyless society in which
Classless, moneyless, stateless.
everyone, from the working class proletariat to the rich bourgeoisie, shares the wealth. This was the teaching.
Well, there wouldn't be the bourgeoisie anymore. There was 2 revolutions that happened in that year. There's a February one and October one. Think of them as this way: the February one was more about taking down the monarchy, taking down the monarchy. The second one more about the communist, communist revolution, if you will. So think of it as kind of 2-part that way.
Marx, the other one. The other one.
Karl
Is
Marx.
that really him? Wow, he looks like a cross between socialism and Santa Claus. To the fellow Russians, a system in which everyone shares the wealth seemed pretty good. And on November 7th of 1917, the October Revolution, you can probably see a pattern there, the communists took over. Now, for those of you who weren't forced to read Animal Farm 4 times during your high school career, there are 3 important communists to know: Lenin, Stalin, and Trotsky.
Fair enough.
This one led
For
the
for
Bolsheviks
for Russian purposes.
party in the October Revolution and did a lot to transform Russia into a socialist state before he was taken down by the Sith.
Kind of interesting because he peeled back a lot of that stuff going in, and it became a little bit more privatization probably than he would have wanted. The very sudden shift, because the whole thing is about who owns the means of production, who owns the abilities that we have to make money, from farms to factories and all that stuff. And it went from a very, small bourgeoisie, aristocratic class, and then being able to transition that to the working class was difficult. But it went into a period, though, first that had a lot of actual private ownership still. And so, yeah, they actually had to do some of those reforms rather than just go all in, you know what I mean?
After his death, this one got screwed over, exiled, and assassinated by this one, who took power, screwed everything up, and was responsible for nearly 20 million deaths via his secret police, famines, and purges.
Well, so Stalin was the bully. He was the muscle for Lenin, the guy that he could get to do the dirty work. But Lenin also understood that guy probably shouldn't be leader, and it said that on his deathbed. They said, basically, I don't care who takes over, whatever, but don't let it be Stalin. Don't let it be Stalin. Boots out Trotsky, internal conflict there. Stalin, purges his enemies and takes power.
Put Stalin's actions in perspective, compare him to Hitler, whose Holocaust killed 12 million people. Any way you slice it, not nice guys.
Do you guys like to do the comparison of the deaths of the Soviet Union or Stalin versus Holocaust, the design, systematic genocide, ethnic genocide? Now, there's so much mismanagement and things that, of course, led into those 20 million people, and then the purges of millions of people of dissidents. Do you guys like that I mean, do you think those are fair comparisons when you compare, like, again, a genocide like this versus Stalin, throwing Mao, Pol Pot, like all of these different guys? Pol Pot actually being more of an outlier, but a little bit because that's, very genocidal that way. But anyway, do you like those comparisons? Do you think those are fair?
It, not nice guys.
I mean, people
And
died.
that,
That's
dear
tragic, of
theorists,
course.
Is everything you need to know to understand this episode and pass the Russian unit in world history. So how could Mario possibly be seen
Shout
as
out to
communist
Crash Course.
propaganda? Well, slap my buns and call me Joseph McCarthy, because we're going to expose this
Red
supposed
Scare.
Italian for what
He's a guy that
really
freaked
is.
out America.
Let's
The
start
communists
with
are
his
everywhere.
design. What color
I forgot this was a Mario video.
associated with? Red. Ever wonder why red was chosen? The classic story is that it was to contrast against the blue background, which would make sense if red was truly the color opposite of blue, but it's not.
Stands out nicely,
On
though.
any color wheel, orange
Green.
is the color that is directly across from blue, and orange has just as many shades of
red
red,
versus green,
if
yeah.
not more, in the NES color
Oh,
palette.
must have been
How
intentional.
much orange is used in the game? Next to none. How much red was used? used? A lot.
It's quite a bit
Back
of
in the
orange.
real world, communism was also strongly associated
The
with
Reds.
red, being known as the Red Threat, the Red Scare, the Red Terror. Then there's Fireflower Mario, clad all in red and white. If he wasn't sporting the communist colors before, he certainly is now the red and white of Lenin's
That's the fire
Bolshevik
sound.
party. But it's not just
Confirmed.
his
And the video there. And the video there. Mario is a communist. He has red on. We'll see you next time, everybody. All right.
Check out the hat. Is it a coincidence that Mario's hat just
It is
so
super.
happens to sport a similar shape and, more strangely, a similar design as communist?
It's a Stalin hat.
Perhaps. I mean, it is a bit odd that Mario's hat and Stalin's both have a circle in the front with a signature logo.
Oh my God,
but
circles
we can
equals
pass that off
communism.
as happenstance. How about that facial hair, though?
He
Is it
does have a
also
Stalin
coincidence
stash.
That Mario's mustache looks like it was directly
Stalin-
ripped off the face of someone in contention for the world's most evil man?
All the dictators, they all had the mustaches. They all had the mustaches then. Starting to make sense. That thing, Stalin's freaking hair was pretty epic that way. He had a face caterpillar.
4 out of 5 communist leaders agree.
Yeah, look at all of
a good
those guys.
mustache is half
Well, not
the
Mao.
uniform. Mario is
You'll get the facial hair with the
mustache-approved.
Chinese leaders.
And while we're looking at character design, let's not forget one of the recurring
Wario?
villains of the Mario franchise, Wario.
Yeah, he's
Wario
definitely
was
a commie.
created as the anti-Mario.
Wario
right?
for sure.
And what are the 2 things Wario is known for?
He's communist AF.
Oh, shut up. Being fat and being greedy. He's a walking American stereotype.
Oh,
An
okay.
overweight
See, I thought it should be
capitalist
flipped.
pig who eats way too much and loves money. Just look at his games. They're all about collecting treasure, accumulating coins, gaining more wealth. Even back to the
So is
first
Mario, though.
Wario Land, the better endings get you bigger and bigger houses. And achievement being tied to material wealth is
So
as
he's the
American
capitalist
as
Wario.
apple pie. Wario's the bougie fat cat counterpoint to our proletariat plumber. And let's look at that.
Proletariat's
for a
the working
second,
class,
shall
by the
we?
way.
What is
Bourgeoisie,
Mario?
the bourgeoisie are the capital owners, and then the proletariat are the workers who sell their labor.
Exactly. A plumber who started off as a carpenter. Both working class, physical labor positions that define members of the Communist Party. Remember,
He's the
this was a
hammer of the
political
hammer and
movement
sickle.
responding to the mistreatment of the working class
Gunstar
by the
Heroes, what a good game
exclusionary
that is.
upper classes, meaning that blue-collar Mario would fit the bill perfectly. And while we're looking at Mario's proletariat
hero of the
predilection,
proletariat.
what's his signature weapon again? Oh, that's right.
Jumping.
Hammers. Need I
Oh.
say more?
Oh.
Only Magus appeared in these
Well,
games.
he's a
and we
plumber.
have the
They use
complete
hammers.
Communist toolkit. But that's not all, dear theorists. What's the goal of Super Mario Brothers?
Get paid. This is where I got to see him. You know what's going on. Well, it's to save the princess, right? I don't know. Is there something communist about that? Is she saving him from the communist landlord that is King Koopa? Because he's like a king, trying to rescue him from monarchy and class society.
To overthrow a king, King Koopa. And what was the role of the Russian Revolution?
Take down
To
the monarchy.
overthrow a king, Tsar Nicholas II. And what do you do at the end of every level in Mario? Rip down a flag. At the end of every level, Mario tears
You
down
notice? Hey, look at this.
Rip
But look at the
down
flag. Did you see that? It's a peace flag. Mario's taking down the peace flag.
a flag. At
Look
the end of every level, Mario tears down a flag to raise his own. A red star on a white background.
Yo.
No, that's not a hostile Macy's takeover, my friend. That's
Hey.
Mario raising the symbol of his
Okay,
Soviet
okay,
brethren.
Matt.
Along
Okay,
with the
Matt.
hammer and sickle, the red star was the other emblem
Okay.
of the Communist Party.
Taking down the peace
specifically
flag and
of
bringing
the
up the
Red
star.
Army, with the 5 points of the star.
more
that
like
could
Chinese.
represent
He's
the
like
5 fingers of the Communist
Chinese
worker's
communist.
hand. And what's on that flag Mario tears down?
Yeah, it's
Is
peace.
that a pixelated green peace sign?
Yeah.
So according to Mario, it's down with peace and up with the people. The people's Mario. But let's take a break from communism for a second, shall we? And look at the rest of the game.
He's been pretty good.
Speculation has always gone on about
Making
the
a good case,
mushroom
Matt.
Mario uses. It's a bizarre power-up, right? Well, wonder no
mushroom?
more. I give you
it's
the Mario mushroom.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be like mushroom
Amanita
cloud.
muscaria, the fly Amanita. Look familiar? Not
Okay,
only
what's that
does
do
it
with communism?
look like Mario's mushrooms, it acts like them too, as this poisonous mushroom has been used throughout history.
Dude, there's mushrooms that
for its
actually look
ability to
like that?
cause hallucinations. And you know where in the world
He's
it's
tripping.
found? Siberia, aka the eastern half of Mother Russia.
Well, part of the Eastern half, but yes.
Seriously, if you're still questioning Mario's
Oh my
loyalty,
God.
stop to consider the development
Alrighty.
of the game.
He
If Super
kills.
Mario were developed in
You jump
America,
off
there would
Yoshi.
be no chance of any sort of communist leanings. But as we all know,
Gorbachev.
Nintendo is located in Japan. And while Japan may not be a communist state, the
Yeah.
Japanese Communist Party has been a strong presence in their election since the 1950s.
Eh.
In fact, it was at its strongest in the
Strong bad.
1970s and 80s when Mario games were first being developed.
Strong
Of the
bad.
nearly 50
That was a
million
very good
votes
voice.
cast in any given election during that time, well over 5 million or 10% go to the Japanese Communist Party. It
That's
is
like
then
every
so
election. Well,
difficult to
10,000.
believe
10% is
that
a lot,
one,
actually.
maybe two of the people involved in the development of the game could have subtly worked in
No,
some of their
yum-um.
political beliefs.
Yum.
All it takes is one. And you know what
Miyamoto,
they
is
say,
he a communist?
in Soviet
Can't be.
Russia, you don't play Mario games play you. But hey, it's just hold on a sec. Seriously?
He was gonna say the thing.
Mario is
Putin.
communist. Come on. The green peace sign Mario tears down, clearly it's a skull. If it was meant to be a peace sign, there would be one more green pixel at the bottom on either side to complete the round look.
Whatever.
And
Ask
while,
Miyamoto.
yes, Mario may be overthrowing King Koopa, he's also instating another aristocracy. This one supervised by a mentally unstable princess in pink. Not
Okay,
much of a
yeah, she's
people's plumber
an
there, huh,
aristocrat.
Jumpman? Regardless, though, it makes you question, right? So, is Mario communist?
Yes.
Maybe he is, maybe he isn't.
It's
I'll
official.
leave that for you to debate.
We need to
But
play
from
Communist Mario on the
mushrooms
gaming
to his
channel again.
enemies, to the design of the character, to Japanese political history, it's definitely not as ridiculous as it might initially sound. But in the end, it's just a theory. A game
He said the
theory.
thing!
Nostrovia.
Well. All right, final thoughts. All right, I think that was a fun way to hopefully, I don't know, pay my respects to Matt over there and the incredible work that, of course, he's done forever. It was fun that we could find a video like this that can kind of intersect our channels with kind of the gaming and history and all stuff, because that's right up my alley. I mean, that's like my thing. I love gaming. I love history, and to see that all come together. So I don't know. Do you think he was a communist? All that symbology seemed to be there, and man of the working class, I guess. So anyway, thanks again for watching, everybody. And with that, we'll see you all next time.